You won't believe the miraculous experience of the Swiss guard who stood before Pope Francis' coffin. As thousands of mourners filed solemnly into St. Peter's Basilica to pay their last respects to Pope Francis, a quiet and deeply personal miracle unfolded, one that only a few witnessed but has since left many in awe. Among the elite Swiss guards, tasked with the solemn duty of standing vigil by the Pope's coffin, was Luca Meyer, a young guard from Lucerne. Having served for 5 years, Luca was no stranger to ceremonial duties. But what happened during his shift beside the late Holy Father's remains was unlike anything he had ever experienced. As Luca stood silently at attention, his thoughts were far from the crowd. Privately, he had been struggling with his faith. Though raised Catholic, recent personal trials, his mother's illness, the pressure of military life, and spiritual dryness had left him feeling distant from God. Standing beside Pope Francis' simple wooden coffin, Luca found himself praying silently. If you're real, Lord, if you're really here, show me. I need to know. Just minutes later, as the sunlight filtered through the high stained glass windows, Luca said he suddenly felt an overwhelming warmth and peace. He described it as something that entered not just the room, but my heart. For a few seconds, time felt suspended. The scent of frankincense, though not currently in use, briefly filled the air. Then, most startling of all, Luca claims he heard, deep within his soul, the words, "Do not be afraid. I am with you always." Luca did not tell anyone at first. He didn't want to create a spectacle. But later, in the presence of a Vatican chaplain, he shared his story. The priest gently told him that Pope Francis, even in death, may have continued his mission of drawing hearts back to Christ. The experience rekindled Luca's faith. He now attends daily Mass, has reconciled with God through confession, and has found peace amid his personal struggles. Whether one sees this moment as miraculous or deeply spiritual, one thing is certain: even in death, Pope Francis continues to inspire faith. A life poured out in service to Christ echoes far beyond the grave.